Chelsea will face Djurgården in the first leg of their UEFA Europa Conference League semi-final at the 3 Arena on Thursday night. Looking to pick up an away win after a 1-0 win over Everton gave the team a boost. Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca is expected to field a 4-2-3-1 formation with a few changes to his starting lineup. Reece James, Levi Colwill and Romeo Lavia are prime candidates to start the game. In defense, Philip Jurgensen will be in goal for Chelsea, looking to keep a clean sheet in this away game. Levi Colwill will once again partner Tosin Adarabioyo in the heart of defense, looking to thwart the opposition. Reece James is likely to start at right back, while Marc Cucurella will fill in at left back. Both will be given the freedom to contribute to the attack and support the front line. In midfield, Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall and Romeo Lavia will play as the holding midfielders, ensuring dominance in the middle of the park and making things difficult for the home side. In front of them, the trio of Jadon Sancho, Enzo Fernandez and Noni Madueke will be tasked with orchestrating attacks and creating goal opportunities. In attack, Nicholas Jackson will be Chelsea's spearhead, with the main task of scoring goals and being a threat in front of the opponent's goal. Christopher Nkunku is expected to be on the bench, waiting for an opportunity to come on and make an impact in the second half. With this lineup, Chelsea will look to put in a solid performance and secure an advantage in the first leg against Djurgården. Wesley Fofana can be said to be Chelsea's failed investment. Bought expensively from Leicester for €80 million in 2022, the defender is now only worth €30 million. Why? Because he is more often absent than playing. Since coming to Stamford Bridge, Fofana has missed 100 games due to injury and has only appeared 34 times. In fact, his talent is extraordinary. When playing, he is indeed solid, strong in one-on-one duels, and able to carry the ball from the back. But all that means nothing if he continues to be absent. From knee injuries, broken legs, to the most recent hamstring injuries, all of them have continued to delay his career. Chelsea actually had high hopes. He was an early recruit in the Clearlake era, even trusted by Maresca at the start of the season. However, when he was injured again last December, Chelsea's performance also plummeted drastically. Now, after surgery, Fofana must be absent again until the end of the season. This is the right moment to sell him. Chelsea are preparing to overhaul their backline. Names like Mark Guehi and Dean Huijsen are being targeted. Even Chalobah, who has been consistent since returning from Palace, is being sold, even though his performances are more convincing than Fofana's. If Marseille really come with an offer, Chelsea should take the chance. Selling Fofana is not about talent, but about logic. No matter how good a player is, if he can't be relied on, he's useless in the long run. Chelsea and Real Madrid are now elbowing each other to sign Benfica's young centre-back, Thomas Araujo. A name that was initially considered a surprise has now become a fight between two European giants. Chelsea have been monitoring Araujo since last summer, but failed to sign him, because Benfica insisted they would only let the player go if his €100 million release clause was paid. But now, that price has been reduced. After Araujo extended his contract last December, his release clause was adjusted to €80 million, a price that is still considered expensive, but reasonable for Chelsea, who previously paid a similar amount for Wesley Fofana. Now, Real Madrid have entered the hunt. The situation in Madrid is also encouraging this move. Antonio Rudiger has just undergone meniscus surgery and could be out for months. Meanwhile, David Alaba is reportedly set to be released, and Eder Militao is still recovering from his second ACL injury. Real clearly needs fresh blood in the back line. Although there has been no final decision from Madrid to buy a centre-back, the injury situation and the age of the senior players make the transfer movement can be accelerated. This is good news for Chelsea, who can overtake first if they move quickly. Thomas Araujo, a defender who is technically strong and tactically disciplined, is now a big bet. And whoever manages to get his services could have a strong foundation for the future. Liam Delap is a hot target in the summer transfer market. Although he failed to save Ipswich Town from relegation, Delap's performance in his debut season in the Premier League has many big clubs competing for his signature. With 12 goals in 33 appearances, the 22-year-old striker has shown that he is worthy of playing at the highest level. However, one thing that makes the competition even more interesting, Delap has set an absolute condition. He only wants to move to a club that will appear in European competition next season. This makes Chelsea indirectly superior to Manchester United, who are currently still threatened with failing to qualify for the European tournament. MU actually made Delap their #1 target for the striker position. But if they fail to win the Europa League, then next season will be a season without Europe for the Red Devils. And that's where Chelsea comes in as the ideal option. The London club still has a big chance to appear in Europe. And since a few weeks ago, they have indeed been mentioned as the favourites in the fight for Delap. Financial conditions are also supportive. Ipswich, who were relegated, made Delap's release clause active, which is only €35 million. The figure is considered very cheap considering his young age, British passport, and Premier League experience. Interestingly, Delap's decision is set to be announced immediately after the official season ends. He does not want the transfer process to drag on, because he has to focus with the England U21 national team in the U21 Euro event this summer. Chelsea is now in a superior position. If MU fails to secure a European ticket, it is not impossible that the Blues will immediately step on the gas to close the deal. Because with a price, age, and potential like Delap, this could be a smart investment that should not be wasted. Chelsea have finally announced a new main sponsor for the front of their shirt. Dubai-based luxury property company Damac Properties. After going through a season without a main shirt sponsor, the Blues have now signed a short-term deal that will run until the end of the 2024-25 season. Their previous deal with Infinite Athlete expired last summer. Chelsea have since held off on taking on a temporary sponsor, hoping to secure a bigger deal, especially if they qualify for the Champions League. They currently sit 5th in the Premier League table, which is likely to be enough to secure a place in Europe's elite competition. The Damac logo will be featured on Chelsea's shirts in tonight's UEFA Conference League semi-final first leg against Djurgården. However, the partnership is not just about the logo on the shirt. Chelsea and Damac are also collaborating on the Chelsea Residences by Damac project, a Chelsea-themed residential complex to be built in Dubai. This is part of the club's globalization strategy, expanding their brand into the Middle East and the luxury property market. Club president Jason Gannon described the partnership as a unique move that will strengthen Chelsea's global position and introduce a new side of the club to the Dubai landscape. With this project, Chelsea is not only present on the pitch, but also on the skyline of Dubai. Chelsea are in active talks with Borussia Dortmund over a move for winger Jamie Gittens. In a move that suggests a change in recruitment strategy, Chelsea are focusing on strengthening their wingers, given the uncertainty surrounding Noni Madueke's role and the suspension of Mykhailo Mudryk. Gittens, who has Bundesliga experience, is now Chelsea's top target, with the hope of completing the deal before the start of the season. However, negotiations are not just about Gittens. Dortmund are also interested in signing Chelsea's on-loan Carney Chukwuemeka permanently. A swap deal could also be on the cards, with Noni Madueke or even Jadon Sancho a possible part of the deal. Chelsea also have the option to sign Sancho permanently for around £25 million, which could make the deal easier with Dortmund. The desire to manage player values carefully and comply with profitability and sustainability rules is one of the reasons behind this strategy, with Gittens and Chukwuemeka equaling around £35 million. Both clubs are able to balance their books. This shows that Chelsea are getting smarter in conducting transfer business that not only prioritizes quality, but also financial efficiency. With a more targeted approach and oriented towards tactical needs, Chelsea seem to have found a clearer direction in their transfer strategy. If successful, this deal will be a smart move in strengthening the team while maintaining the club's financial stability.